Hello everyone! Welcome back to a 2v2 Warhammer battle. This is going to be the Beastmen, and I'm the Greenskins, and we are facing off against two Dwarf players who are suffering from one of the worst cases of corner camping I have seen in a while. But for the armies here, that's my ally. We have a front line of Goreherds with shields. We have two Gorbulls, Morgor the Shadow Gave, and then a whole bunch of Bestigors, and then two Minotaurs with great weapons for their army. I think there's more, yeah, there's more Goreherds over here. Also, I think the funds were increased for this one. For me, I have 4 Savage Orc Boar Boys, including 1 Boar Boy Big and Savage Orc, because I'm bringing Warzag, and I wanted to bring some Savage Orcs. I was going to bring Arrow Boy Savage Orcs, because I haven't really used them before, but against 2 Dwarf forces, like, that's kind of a waste. So I decided not to bring them. But instead, I brought these Savage Orc Boar Boys, who do have armor piercing, and we'll see how they do. My front line, we have 4 Black Orcs, including the Crimson Killers. I have 3 Orc Boys, 2 of them on the flanks over here, and then this guy. Brought a Gabo and the Orc Boy here to kind of do screening for the Black Orcs behind them. We do have the Rusty Arrows, the Ragnarok Queen, and then I had a flanking force that was deployed over here to try and flank anybody, but these are going to be made up of 3 Nasty Skulkers and the Day Peak Loonies. But since the enemy is going to be deployed over here in the corner, well, there's no flanking that can really happen. So here we go. My ally is going to engage against the first of the Dowie players, who have 3 Gyro Bombers. These are mostly all Longbeards. These are the Peak Gate Guard. We have the Scoter Guard back here, the Dragonback Slayers, some Gunners. Back here we have all of the Siege in this corner. These are all Longbeards, except for the Warriors Dragonfire Pass, Grumbling Guard, Norguming's Ironbreakers, Dragonpack Warriors, a couple Crossbows, being led by Balagar Ironhammer and Thorny Ironbrow, the Ethereal unit. So the Gorbulls here getting focused down by the cannon and the organ guns, and then also these 3 Gyro Bombers. But the Bestigor is going to do okay against the front line of Longbeards that are going to be coming in, and they're also getting a nice flank over here on the Dragonback Slayers. My forces are going to lead these Goreherds over here, and I'm going to try and plow our Savage Orcs and break their Grumbling Guard. And so, you know, bloop, bloop, bloop. As the rest of our forces are slowly making their way across the entire map. I'm going to get my Ragnarok Queen over here as well. This just pisses me off. I was just upset when I started this game. I'm like, you fucking kidding me. Anyway, so we're going to charge into the Grumbling Guard, get some decent damage, but the Norguming Ironbreaker is going to do a lot of damage with their satchel charges. Now we have the other PK Guard here finishing the wall camping like a punk. So there is no way in here, so we're going to break through the front line. We got some Goreherds over here. My ally is trying to wrap around behind the enemy lines, getting into these Handgunners or Thunderers, which is a good call. The Bombers are going to do a couple bomber runs on the Goreherds over here, and I think they got a couple best scores. We have more best scores on these Ironbreakers over there. And yeah, so just a massive brawl over here being led by Morgor the Shadow Gave. They're doing a lot of damage to these Longbeards because the Longbeards are fighting against Minotaurs and Bestigors, so the Longbeards are kind of dying. And now finally my army is getting in here, going to try and get the Ragnarok Queen. I want her to try and destroy these Norguming Ironbreakers, but the Dragonback Slayer is going to come in over here, and she's going to take a lot of damage. We're pulling out our Savage Orcs. Actually, this was the second charge we did, and we did a massive charge on the Peak Gate Guard, and we've almost destroyed the Grumbling Guard with these repeating charges from our Savage Orcs and Savage Orc Biggins. You have another Savage Orc over here backing up the Goreherd and Best Goreherd over here. Finally, my army is almost there. I think the Goblin's going to go over here to fight the Dwarves, and then my Black Orcs, not Black Guards, are going to go bloop, bloop, bloop. The Crimson Killers is going to right up the middle, bloop, and then Black Orcs over here. And then I think I get most of my Orc Boys, and they're going to come around over here as well. And then some of my Goblin forces, I think, are too. But I think at least 2 Nasty Skulkers and this Orc Boy are going to go plow up here to try and finish off the Peak Gate Guard. Right here, I was trying to pull my Queen out. I think she was taking damage from the organ. No, she wasn't taking damage from the organ gun. Oh, it's the cannon. It was the cannons that were doing a massive amount of damage to her. So I threw her in there because the cannons were fighting the Gorbulls back there, and I didn't think they were going to switch targets because most Dwarf players aren't good at micro. But no, they switched targets, and I was like, oh shit. So I was trying to get her out of her, but she's going to rout. Here come the Nasty Skulkers into the Peak Gate Guard, more Nasty Skulkers into the Grumbling Guard. We're backing them up with numbers with the Orc Boys. These guys are going to go around here. We have our first Here We Go being dropped from Warzag, and they're just going to start crumbling through these Warriors Dragonfire Pass and these Longbeards with the Black Orcs here. Also going to be casting various amounts of spells. We have Fist of Gork that will be casting Crimson Killer at some point, and then a couple of the explosion spells so we can make use of his unique item, which boosts the entire army melee attack and charge bonus whenever you cast a spell with Warzag. Got the Rusty Arrows here pounding, I think, the Ironbreakers or a crossbow or some shit. I'm not entirely sure. But over here, we are still trying to finish off the Peak Gate Guard so we can create a hole. Over here, you can see Goblins fighting the Dragonback Slayers to try and hold them. We did rear charge with the Savage Orc Boy Boys to try and break these, whatever dwarves are over there, Longbeards or some such. Getting out more of our Savage Orc Boar Biggins in here. And eventually, we're just going to ride them around, and then we're gonna go bloop, 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 and then we're gonna go up a hole that's gonna be created here soon with some melee forces to go bloop, 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 bloop. There goes another spell. That is just so that we can get the attack buff. So you can see that these guys have 60 attack, 42. It even affects our allies, so now you have like 56. So Warzag is a really cool buffer, and right now I'm trying to keep him out of combat so that he can apply his damage resistance buff as well. And we got a wall going down on here again, buffing up the Crimson Killers and nearby Black Orcs to try and go through these Longbeards. Still dealing with the Peak Gate Guard. They managed to rout one of our Nasty Stalkers, but they will be back. There's still a few Grumbling Guard, a few Norgling Ironbreakers. And again, I'm trying to maneuver our forces around like bloop, 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 bloop. And then there's that hole I was talking about. So now we're going to go bloop, bloop. And then these guys are going to go bloop. But when this was happening and I'm microing all of these guys to go blooping over here because they see me riding blooping, that's when Belikar Ironhammer and Thorny Ironbrow are actually going to come over here and they engage against Warzag, which I didn't notice. Which is bad for Warzag, because again, I am over here just trying to get all my forces around these Longbeards to try and silence his crossbows, and all this nasty shit over here. And so that's what I'm doing over here. And then I finally look back to Warzag, so I pull him out. I'm like, okay, get out of there. And then I go back to micromanaging. I wanted to keep him close enough to get his damage resistance, and I didn't think that they would be chased, and that these two could go through the Crimson Killers, but they actually are going to go through them, I think. I don't know. I'm moving him again. What am I doing with this? I don't think I sent him into combat. I guess just send him in closer to apply his damage resistance debuff. But anyway, now our Savage Orc Boar Boys and some of our Black Orcs are getting into the squishy bits, going blooping all over this place. We've got a group of Black Orcs that we detached from this Dragonback Slayer into this crossbow, so we're doing damage to them. Finally routing the Grumbling Guard. We routed the Peak Gate Guard here a little while ago, and they're still at the Norgling Ironbreakers holding up right there. Justier is still firing down. This player is now all but destroyed, but this player. But they do still have their 3 Gyro Bombers who have used up a lot of their bombs, but for the most part, their army is destroyed. Going to get these Nasty Stalkers over here, and we're just not going to go bloop, 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 bloop. And then again, I was micromanaging over here, and that's when these two jumped on Warzag again, and I was like, shit! They just did so much damage to him. So they're going to chase him, and then they do catch him. I was going to try and run interference with the Drustieras, but they actually die right there, which is I'm like, oh well, whatever. We've crushed their entire army at this point. We're routing them off the field, so it felt pretty good to bust, dwarf corner campers. And then I remember in the game, at this point, one of them said in chat, like, man, I really wish dwarves could dwarf some more. Or, like, dwarf better, which I guess means be on the defensive better. I'm like, motherfucker, you corner camped with artillery and, like, all these Longbeards, you want them to be, like, what the... It's not my fault that your defensive strategy doesn't work. Like, dwarves can dwarf really good. That's what they do. It's in their names. They're fucking dwarves. And they're very tanky. But, eventually, this person just created holes to allow my cav to go through here and just destroy all of this shit. And Black Orcs do pretty well against Longbeards, or Dwarf Longbeards with great weapons. Because I think Dwarf Longbeards with great weapons, besides Grumbling Guard, are shitty. I don't think they're worth the price. I think they're one of the worst Dwarf infantry that the Dwarves have. And this person's entire main line was made of them, I suppose, to try and fight Black Orcs. But Longbeards can't take Black Orcs. Not many units can take Black Orcs, so don't try and go one-on-one against Black Orcs. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. And it didn't. You saw, like, my Crimson Killers and all the Black Orcs and Best Swords and shit, they just destroyed those Longbeards because those Longbeards suck. I mean, I shouldn't say they suck, but I think Longbeards' great weapons specifically are not good at all. You're better off with just getting the normal Longbeards for their higher defensive bonus, or melee defense, and have them hold longer. Grumbling Guard is still great, though. They're still really good. But over here, again, we've destroyed their army, but now they are not going to lead the game, and they're going to force us to take out Thorny Ironbrow, and you can see how long that is going to take. It's going to take a long time. So yeah, again, this is... I have not seen a corner camp. I mean, technically they weren't corner camping. Okay, technically they weren't. They were over here, and they were up against the line, but they were doing this, and technically the corner is over here. So I guess they're not corner camping. They're just line camping, I guess. That was ridiculous. Again, I've not seen them for so long. For so long. I send my Drusty or the AP Loonies, whatever these goblins are, in here just because they can't be feared by Thrani. And then we'll send these guys in for just some bodies. And it was at this point when the two dwarf players were talking to each other about how bad the dwarves are and how they wish they could dwarf better. And I'm like, good God. Good God. Good God. So, good game to Wolf Titan, and I mean, I guess if corner camping's your thing, good game to them too. I think it's pluh. It's pluh, I say. Pluh! For Warzak, he unfortunately got killed. Too bad, but he did cast a lot of spells and buffed his entire army and led them to victory. Black Orcs did exceptionally well. Crimson Killers, 160 kills. The Savage Orc boys did great charges on the PK guard and Grumbling guard, and then rear charges, and then more charges, and they just blooped all over the field. These guys did okay. I mean, I guess they did pretty good. Ragnar Queen, she died because I wasn't paying attention to the cannon, and so that was my bad. Trusty Arrows did some damage, so they're okay. And then all the godless did pretty good. For Wolf Titan, I think the best score line did pretty well. Yep, best score lines did really well. Minotaurs did really well. Gore Herds even did really well. Everything, for the most part, did really well. For the player with the Gyro Bombers got a decent amount of kills, but these things are super expensive. I'm sure they dealt some damage with the bombs too, though, so they probably paid off. Skoda Guard netting 4 kills is not good. PK Guard did okay. Dragonback Slayers did really well. But the front line just can't match up to Bestigors, Gorbals, and Minotaurs. And then for this player, a couple of Longbeards actually fared pretty good. Like, this one's getting 90 kills is pretty good. But you can see the other ones kind of fared poorly besides the Grumbling Guard. Dragonback Slayers did well. The Norglooming Ironbreakers just tanking it for days. PK Guard killed tons of people. And their artillery did really well because we couldn't get to it for a while. And then Belagar and Thorny also killed a lot. Well, Thorny killed a lot at the very end because we couldn't kill the bastard because he's an ethereal punk ass. But yeah, Belagar did a lot of damage too. So good game to our opponents in Waskia, Lord Aku, and Bowlander, and then Wolf Titan. And let's go watch this in a cinematic view. It's so satisfying to crush people like this. It is so satisfying to breach through the defenses. You just bloop all over their back lines, just bloop, 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 and then you just crush them. It feels so good. So good. Anyway, let's watch this. Oh yeah, this is the map with all the floating skeletons. Right. Savage Orc boys! Shifting! Charge, motherfucker! Yes! Yes! No! The Savage charges of doom! Get the hell out! Get the hell out! I'm gonna be real with you, friends. After I got that first wave of Savage charges, I was like, let's just let the Gore Herds go in. They'll take the Savage charges and we'll go charge. Because listen, Gore Herds are not as valuable as Savage Orc Gore Boys in this case. So you need to know where to make sacrifices. So let the Gore Herds take them, not the Savage Orcs. Meanwhile, our Biggins are over here killing some PK guard. But the thing is, with the Savage Orcs, man, you can't have them in combat for long. You gotta pull them out. I left these guys in a little too long. But we'll get them out of here now that the Gores are there. Get in there, killers! Kill you some dwarves! Here we go! They are just cleaving through these warriors. It's a beautiful sight. Like, they all just walk forward, take a swing, and then they can walk forward again because they've already killed. It's so good. Black Orc supported by Waz, and here we goes, man. Lock him up. Where's that coming over the hill? And then where's that gets a little too close. A little too close here. That's gonna hurt. Now we're in your backfield. What you gonna do? Alright, these guys are going for the crossbows. Got Minotaurs. You got no front line to protect you now, do you? Quarrelers.
Bring us to battle! Doing it! Slaughter! Yeah, boys! Slaughter!
Oh yeah, mess him up.
Running! Yes, sir.
He's still getting up. Oh, I don't think he's getting up from that one. And right now I'm positioning my rusty arrows to shoot these dudes in the back. There they are. I didn't realize how far downhill they were though.
Moving fast!
A bloody battle.
Smash up!
Alright. Well, we're not going to watch this 3-minute long fight to kill the Ethereal unit. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Apparently there's a gyrocopter nearby. There it is. Get the fuck out.